Hello guys, full time at Old Trafford, Manchester United 2, Arsenal 1. Very frustrating to lose it right at the death. But I'm going to try and be positive today because I think there were a lot of positives. I think it went a lot better than many of us feared it would, especially once the lineups came out. This was a young Arsenal team. Callum Chambers at centre half alongside Mavropanos making his debut. In midfield you had Maitland-Niles, Reiss Nelson, Alex Iwobi. It was an unfamiliar side and it was an inexperienced side. And given games like the 8-2, there was also the cup game, wasn't there, where we lost 5-1, something like that. I think that was the Stepanovs game. You did fear the worst somewhat, especially once United got a relatively early goal. But I thought for the most part we acquitted ourselves really well. In the first half, we actually looked pretty good going forward. That faded in the second, but in the second I thought we saw some solid defensive efforts from some young players. The result didn't go away. The terrible away run goes on, and I know in time that's sort of what will stand. The legacy of this game will be that continuing dearth of points away from home. But I am going to try and be positive because we need to be this week. We need to go to Madrid and win that game. That really is, I know it's a semi-final, but it's like a final to us, a one-off game that we have to win. Our season rides on it. But saying all that, I think there were things to be encouraged by in this performance. I actually thought some of the senior players helped out very well. Henrik Mkhitaryan came back from injury, scored a good goal, was generally lively. I think he did enough to suggest he should start in Madrid if Arsene Wenger deems him ready. He looked ready today. I know it will be probably a more intense game than today's was, but I think he lends something to us going forward. I want to see him in the starting 11. I thought Hector Bellerin, who seemingly never allowed to rest, played 90 minutes and played it really well. Thought he had some really good moments, and I think we owe him a little debt for being the man to get a block on that Alexis Sanchez header that was just before Pogba put the ball in the net, but at least it meant we didn't have to suffer an Alexis goal against us. He didn't play well, Alexis. Had a very tricky game. Chambers and Mavropanos I thought were both really encouraging. Chambers, I thought this is one of his best performances for a while as a centre-half, and Mavropanos looks very interesting. I mean, he's very physical, quite rugged in the way that he plays. We miss someone with that kind of imposing physical style, I think, at the heart of our defence, but he can play too. Some nice passing out from the back. Him and Chambers sort of split very often, and Xhaka dropped in. He was on the left-hand side, Mavropanos, and looked very tidy. Xhaka was the captain today. He did have a bit of a nightmare first half. Sky really laid into him. I can see why. He made a lot of mistakes defensively, but improved in the second and was involved in the goal. Reiss Nelson, I thought, had moments. I still don't think we've really seen him translate what he does in the youth team into the senior side, apart from in those pre-season friendlies. I don't think he's done it really in a competitive game at senior level. Maybe I'm wrong. If you can think of an example, do give me a shout in the comments. But I don't mean to say by any means that he's kind of the next J. Emmanuel Thomas, because I think a lot of J. Emmanuel Thomas' success was based on his physical attributes, his strength, his power, his size. That's not the case with Reiss Nelson. He is incredibly technically gifted. And I did like him more in this kind of inside left position than I have done, as, say, a right wing back. What else to say? Aubameyang had a quiet day, as you would expect. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I think, definitely deserves a mention in central midfield. Very good, very athletic, very composed. All the things we know about him already, he really affirmed those today, and I think he's someone who the new manager, I think, will be looking forward to having in the squad because he's so versatile and really, really promising player. So a lot to drive satisfaction from. I like Mkhitaryan's goal. I like the fact that he took the shot on. That's one of the positive things about him, and another reason that I would include him in the starting 11 on Thursday, because we will need a goal in Madrid. The winner, Fellaini. I mean, we're not the only team who struggled to cope with Fellaini. It's ugly, but it is effective. And Ashley Young is a great deliverer from the left-hand side. And as the game wore on, he and Martial were really pushing on down that flank, swinging the balls in. And ultimately, we couldn't deal with that final one. Fellaini got the flick. But I must say, David Ospina, I was impressed with him against Atletico. His footwork was good. He did everything right, really, but yeah, I just felt like he was sort of diving almost backwards. You know, the ball was relatively close to him and he didn't get a hand to it. Maybe that injury that he picked up played into that, but I felt a little bit frustrated with him there. Anyway, another Old Trafford defeat. Arsene Wenger's last. Another Jose Mourinho victory over Arsene Wenger. Not very pleasant to stomach. But there were things to be positive about. It's all about Thursday as well. Ultimately, the Premier League campaign is sort of done and dusted. Thursday is everything. And we rested the likes of Koscielny, Mustafi, who I think needed a rest. Monreal only played 20 minutes. Welbeck only played 20 minutes. Ramsey, Ozil, Lacazette, complete rest. I'd be surprised if as many Atletico players as that get a rest. So that has to be a good thing. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I don't know why I'm all blue today. It's sort of dusky here in North London. So it was sunny in Manchester. Seems odd. Doesn't seem right. Okay, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.